All right, rockers, we are on part 3 of the 3-part series where today we are going to interview, Dustin, continue interviewing him on how he built an A-team, how he went from making nothing to making $500K. Last time we talked about strategies that are working real time right now. Like why you should never hire based on skill set, but hire based upon the applicant's attitude, fit with your team. The 3 core areas for an efficient hiring system, and it's not what you think. And if you made this far in this podcast, I just want to thank you, and I hope that you're enjoying these series. So today with Dustin, we're going to cover off how to hack the job site cheat sheet, how to incentivize your employees so they can work harder and faster, better quality work. And the one thing that you need to do every time with your estimator, and if you're not doing this, you're going to end up with like a chicken with its head cut off when it comes to running your job site. So subscribe, and if you're interested in getting more information on how you can apply any of these insights, any of these strategies, any of these tips from the 3-part series, which is Killer No Filler, book in for a chat. Raising your hand for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being a champion CEO. So hopefully we'll see you on the flip side. We'll talk to you soon. Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life. So I got to touch on something. This is mindset and its principle. Now, we've talked a lot about growth for you. We talked a lot about, increasing sales, increasing profits. Again, call me on this, dude, if you think it's bullshit. Is when we start off helping somebody like, say, Dustin, one of my core principles that I teach is less is more. That means you can literally do less work and make more profits. So what's that got to do with COVID? It has a lot to do with it, okay? So understand that Dustin is thinking like a champion CEO, right? So if things are slowing down for you, it is it's always a good time to do this. But it's probably one of the most controlled environments to tighten things up with the work that you have, even though things have slowed down a bit. So like Dustin, if we look at the improved efficiency of just running the jobs that you had when things slowed down, using the principles, the scheduling, the default, how more efficient were your jobs, even though you had less of them?
Yeah.
When you started applying these systems and process and policy, how much more efficient were they?
Well, they became a lot more efficient. One of the things that it did flesh out is we realized, so we've got a operations manager that's kind of overseeing the different project managers and things that are running, but he was taking on too much of a load. Richard's one of our guys that he's overseeing just about every job we have in one capacity or another, but yet he's also managing his own jobs. And so we okay, let's huddle up and talk to these guys that are project leads, and how do we give them more of that responsibility? How do we take some stuff off his plate? At the same time, we want to get him involved with our estimating a little bit sooner. We want to have him sign off on estimates. And there's something there that we're, if I can get all these guys in line with an estimate before sales, we want to build in bonuses for guys, to where if we hit these numbers, everything stays on track, the job runs on track. There's a bonus at the end of each job that goes to all the guys. And it's something that can significantly boost guys' pay. And so we started working on implementing a lot of that stuff. And what does it look like kind of during that slowdown? How do we take what we're doing and just become more efficient with it, and incentivize guys to hit the deadlines that we're trying to hit.
Hey, dude, did you ever download the job site cheat sheet?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So everybody listening in,
They're awesome.
what's that?
They're awesome.
The fucking game changers. Okay, 1 page, right? Not 80 pages. True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to touch on this in a sec. So you guys click the link below if you're, you got to answer a couple of questions to get into this group with over 7,000 contractors in it, called the Contractor Tips Group. And the title says it all, Contractor Tips, right? We'll give you tips, guys, like this podcast, right? But break it down with tools and templates and stuff. One of the tools, if you haven't gotten it already, and if you do have it, awesome, it's called the Job Site Cheat Sheet, okay? Now, why am I talking about this? Because Dustin, I'm going to coach you right now, okay? So I'm going to give you an idea. Write this stuff down, Dustin. Everybody else, listen up and do the same if it makes sense. What you've done on the bonus side is huge because people are incentivized by results. And back to the team, A players love to be tested and measured. I'll tell you why. They want everybody to see when they put the fucking point on the board, who got the point on the board. Right? So why not create an environment, okay? So this is stuff you've already said, Dustin, but I'm just wording it differently. I'll come back to my point in a second, is why not create an A player environment where people love to compete and people like to win. People get, incentivized based upon the results that they get. Why wouldn't you want to do that? So awesome for you. So now here's where the coaching comes in. I want you to take that job site cheat sheet. And now everybody else that doesn't have this kind of system in place, do what Dustin did, okay? Which is base it strictly upon the job. Like how much profit did it make? Okay. So here we go. I want you to consider doing bonuses defined in the 3 phases on that job site cheat sheet. I want you to find a bonus for pre-start. I want you to find a bonus for run. And I want you to find a bonus for fucking finishing. Okay? So first place I'd get a new bonus put in place would be the pre-start. Why? Because, brother, you and I know. By the way, everybody's listening in. There's 3 phases. People go, what do you mean? We're running the job. What do you mean there's 3 phases to it? Right? I'm not talking about a delta Y 3-phase fucking transformer, everybody. I'm talking about 3 phases to a job. The job fucking starts, guys, before the job starts. What do you mean? You got to get ready for the game. So pre-start, again, get the checklist. Everybody listening up, get this checklist. Dustin, define how you can set bonuses for pre-start. Because when those guys can nail that sucker, especially the estimator, especially the handoff between the estimator and the project manager, before the job starts, and the quality of that, you and I know will directly impact the next phase being the running. Because if the handoff is shit, the guy running the job could be the best in the world. He doesn't know stuff and how it was quoted. He's lost. Yeah. Okay. And then the next phase is finishing. What do you mean finishing? Yeah, finishing. Anybody heard something called callbacks? If you've ever had a callback, or you're on this call going, holy fuck, I got a whole bunch of callbacks. Part of the reason is because you drop the ball at each one of those phases, especially at the finishing stage. Okay? Yeah. So let's set up bonuses, right? If you want to set up a call with Liam or me or whatever, you could book in for a 1-to-1 and we'll help lay out a game plan for you. But if you laid out bonuses and criteria against each one of those phases, dude, if your guys are scoring fucking 8 or 9 out of each one of those phases and they're getting compensated for it, your jobs are going to be 9, 10, 11 out of the ballpark. Does this make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
How does this help you?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, we're looking at, I would say this has probably been the thing we've worked on the most. If I took any one thing out of the entire last year, this has probably been one of the areas with the handoff, because there's a lot of our projects most of our projects are going to be $150,000 on up. So they're very, very detailed, large projects, and getting all of that information, everything dialed in from an estimator to the project manager. Like you said, if everything can be dialed in exactly the way it needs to be in the pre-start, handed to the project manager, the jobs run way different. When the project manager is still trying to figure out what kind of tub, what kind of faucet, what paint color, all that kind of stuff, it causes a ton of issues. And so
gold, Jerry, right?
We're still continuing to
okay. Last little tip, okay? Because guys, I can keep her coming all day long. Okay, ready for this, bro? Usually the hardest one to get right is the pre-start.
Yeah.
And is the most underlooked one. So here's what I want you to consider. And by the way, you can put this into play like fucking real time next week on the next job that gets quoted. Ready? Mm-hmm. When an estimator does a job, one of the best things that you can do with today's technology, okay, now we can go deep on this, but at a high level, you want to have the estimator, as much as possible, visually and from an auditory perspective, explain in the moment that the estimate is done, how he looked at it. You want to record that. Now, why? Because you cannot capture that with just notes, okay? So either that's partially, hey, I'm on the job site right now, I'm doing a walkthrough. Here, I'm in the truck, did the walkthrough. Here's what I noticed. We're gonna quote this job like this. I'm putting this much on it, and here's why I'm added an extra, because nobody's seeing it right now, but there's an I-beam that's going to go through there, and this is going to cause this and this and this and this. Dude, how fucking much time is it? It's going to take the guy 5 minutes, 10 minutes with the estimator. Now, guess what happens? Everybody on the call, including you, Dustin, what happens? Do we win these jobs the second we quote? No. So what happens? Things get forgotten. Now we got this beautiful quote. It looks detailed. Like most of you guys don't have detailed quotes, but it looks beautiful quoted. But guess what we missed? What do we lose? What do we lose if we didn't, if the guy didn't actually capture?
Yeah. Use a lot of those details. The devil's in those details.
Right. Now, who can go back to that? You get awarded the job. It's a week later. It's a month later. It's a year later. Who could go back and benefit from that, Dustin?
Our project run guys, as they're getting started, you've got to be able to get inside each other's heads and know what one guy's looking at, what one guy's seeing.
The first person that has to watch that when the job gets awarded is not the project manager. It's the estimator. And the project manager and the estimator are going to sit down, they're going to listen to the fucking thing together, and mark my words, the estimator will go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Well, what I meant by that was this. Well, that's not like that on here. Yeah, I know. I would have had to write fucking a whole paragraph. Imagine how much we would have to write. This is basically a mini book.
Yeah.
Versus like it's an hour freaking podcast. Hey, by the way, what can you pause? Rewind. Play. Dude. So, does that help you?
Yeah. That's great.
How quick could you put that into play?
We've got a system in place to be able to do it already. And so
nice.
Yeah, I think it's something we need to incorporate that, taking a recording from the estimator. We use one of the Co-Construct software programs.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Right.
So not only is the estimator doing that, our guys are leaving messages day to day.
Love it, dude. Game changer.
What was done, take some photos, and clients love it. So we can use that same system with our estimating. We can send that message, attach it to the job, and it's there. Yep. So that we can sit down and walk the job together and listen it. I think that's what we're working on now with the handoffs, getting our estimators, project managers, everybody on the same page. Like, this is the budget. This is what we're spending on the job. We hit these numbers. There's, these bonuses that come as, this thing happens. And I think we definitely want to look at how we can break that down into the 3 parts.
Totally. So super simple, right? If the estimator hasn't followed the process, well, why should he get a bonus for that? Because the quality of what he's supposed to be doing is lacking. Well, we know that's going to cost you money. But if you can be consistent with, he did this, and also incentivize people for fucking ideas. Toyota's done a wicked job. I got a buddy that's way up in Toyota. That's one of the cultural things they use. Oh my God, what is it? Maybe it'll come to me. But kaizen, bingo, got it. What they use is a form of kaizen, which is like it was a process designed, I believe, by the Japanese or Chinese as far as systemizing. That's how they took the auto plants out of Ford and what have you back in the day, and then they just like totally broke it down and rebuilt it, right? Yeah. So is breaking things down in a systematic way, right? So that other people, say the estimator quit. Now you got a recording of how that guy was thinking. or the guy's on vacation or Hawaii, whatever, you can go back to it as many times as you want and understand how the job was quoted, right? Which is, and you want to look at those things, you know. By the way, guys, everybody on here, I'm doing this podcast through my phone. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to pay extra, guys. You all have this technology sitting right in front of you. Okay, so you improved your business, you doubled your business, you systemized your business, you still got a ways to go. Let's wrap this baby up by saying, you know, if you look at the future, what would be one or two things on the business front that you're looking at doing, and what's one or two things on the personal front that you're looking forward to?
We're really planning as we go into next year being able to provide health insurance for guys. You know, that's one of the big things we're looking at that we don't have. We do have other PTO and things like that for vacation. We want our guys to spend time with their families. You know, I want it for me, but it's big and important to me that they have that. So health insurance is another thing that just brings more stability for guys and families. As far as we continue to grow, I'm just excited. We're trying to pivot from our remodeling business to more new construction business. So a lot of the guys we're hiring and the way we're growing is kind of with that in mind. Is our plan is to take this wonderful COVID year and let it be a pivot point where we begin buying properties and building spec homes. This area is, you know, if you looked anywhere within the U.S., there's not a better place to be doing what we're doing. And we want to capitalize on that. I think we're at the right place, the right time. So we are looking at transitioning our business. You know, margins and all that, you know, you break down the numbers, that all changes just a little bit. However, the processes, the champion CEO mindset, the guys, the tasks, they're all still the same. It may change its focus just a little bit, but that's one of the big directions we're looking to pivot.
That's amazing. You know, that's amazing. And before we get into the personal, everybody understand that the more that you put this kind of structure and systems and people behind things, the more your set of lenses as a champion CEO become acute. In other words, you know, Dustin, if you look back when you were in that chaos of those 3 years, would you have been ever able to see as clearly as you're seeing right now the opportunity that's actually been right in front of you?
Absolutely not. I mean, and I couldn't. I think that's one of the things that gets discouraging. You know, you start feeling like, man, how long can I keep this up? You know, when are we going to catch a break? You know, all that sort of stuff, to where we've got guys at 6 different jobs right now. I haven't talked to anybody about any one of the jobs today. They're all progressing and moving along. I know clients are all being taken care of. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that allows me to start meeting with strategic partners and people that I need to be meeting with to help pivot our company into a different direction. So it's a totally different mindset. I couldn't even see or let alone know what it was a year ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, now on the personal front, what's a couple of things that you're looking forward to doing more of, or maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe it's buying or enjoying regarding this mindset of your profits pay for your freedom, not just business, but personally. Let's talk about that, and we'll wrap this up.
My wife and I are actually renting a home. I mean, we'd love to purchase a home next year, and we were talking about whether we should purchase a home this year. And one of the things I was able to take is that number sheet showing our projections and what profits should be. And yeah, home prices in our area are rising. They're rising, but it's like showing her that the business is growing faster than home prices are rising. So we're actually better off to sit here, continue to rent where we are. We love our neighborhood. We love, you know, where we're at personally. But we know now, we can see through the numbers that it's actually smarter, even if home prices rise, to continue focusing on the business and allowing that to grow. And at that point, you know, let's grow to another level. And at that point, look at purchasing.
Dude,
you know,
I fucking love that. I love that.
You know, come together. You know, we don't want to be in a subdivision. We'd love to find some property. I know you got some property, and you know, that's kind of where you can really spread out, relax, and it's a whole different desire. It's something that we would love to do. The age of our kids, you know, we're in one of the most beautiful spots I think the U.S. has to offer when it comes to places to camp, hunt. I want my kids to experience all that. So more camping, more outdoor stuff. It's kind of what I would love to do in more of our personal time growing. But yeah, looking into purchasing our own place at some point. Right now, business is still kind of the focus and the priority, as long as I've got time to help raise my kids and be a part of their lives, and know what's going on in each of their lives, know what they're into at school, and so on. That's all.
How old are they again?
Matters. They're 6, 5, 3, and almost 2.
Oh my God, those are precious years, man. So everybody listening in, so you might be thinking through some of this conversation, and sometimes it happens because I get I get messages on this, is that people listen to these podcasts. There's lots of different emotions, but one of them is regret, and one of them is fear. Like, I don't know, can I do this? And regret because, oh my God, like my kid's 22, 23, and I've never got to spend hardly any time with them. Guys, you can't change that, but you can certainly change the future, and you can certainly, become a better business owner, a champion CEO, better husband, better father, better whatever that is, better you. Okay, and I really believe it's never too late. What would you say to somebody? Last thing, what would you say to somebody that's like nervous or scared? Like, holy shit, this seems like a lot. I don't know if I can do this. What would you say?
I'm not the brightest guy in the world. I honestly believe that, heart and desire will take you so far, but it does take skills. It's knowledge. Same thing when we're looking at employees and, what qualities do you need? Our mentality has always been that skills can be taught. And we knew we needed something when we were searching for, what we found through PFC. We knew we needed something to help us get beyond where we were. Mm-hmm. I'd been a contractor for a lot of years, and my mindset was a contractor, probably too much of a perfectionist, and involved in every detail. And so it took a lot of retooling. And as I began to retool my mindset and incorporate different systems, processes, and delegating, it's transformed my mindset now to where I do sleep better. We've got much more personal life and involved with kids and family, and work is still there. I work like crazy, but at the same time, it's managed. It's scheduled. It's
on the right things, right?
Yeah.
So look at everybody. That's big thanks to you, Dustin. Freaking awesome. Guys, we went longer than expected, but you know why? Because it's just worthy of it. Like, this is amazing. If you listen to this podcast, here's my last little piece of advice. Whether it's raising your hand, whether it's getting help, take action, right? Just take a step, right? Whether it's taking something out of this and going, you know what? I'm going to default going for a date with my wife. I haven't had a date with my wife in ages. Or I'm going to default time with my kid. Like, notice, guys, I'm talking about personal. Okay? Yeah. Like, whatever it is, like, default it, do it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Default ordering flowers or whatever the thing is. But when you default it and you do it, I want you to pause and recognize that you did it. Mm-hmm. Right? And that you made progress. Like, fucking, it worked. It's those kind of steps that is going to get you to move forward. Stop being paralyzed. Take some of the stuff that Dustin's covered off. This is gold. You went through years. There's people listening that have been in business 20 years, and they're like, holy shit, just take one thing, right, Dustin? And just move forward, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to implement everything immediately on day one. You're going to continue. We kind of look at that 90 days.
Yep.
Every 90 days, revisit stuff. How do we grow and improve and sharpen what we do?
Love it, man. Sharpen the saw, baby. All right, brother, catch you on the flip side. Enjoy your fishing. Go kick ass on that tournament. Okay, have fun doing it, and I can't wait to watch you keep growing. And again, any of the stuff that I covered off on the coaching strategy side of things, we need to talk about that or lay out a plan and go into more detail. Let's do that. If you're trying to find where that document is, that policy document, just reach out to Steph, one of the teams, and we'll get it to you. And that's it, man. So catch you on the flip side. Later, brother.
All right, thanks,
man. Good news, you made it. You made it to part 3 of the 3-part series. So big thanks, my man, to Dustin Collins for sharing his secrets, for taking the time. And, these are real strategies that are working real time, guys. So if you want to take these things and apply them real time to your business, if you're interested in booking in for a chat, with one of our contractor experts who really are the ones that have, given Dustin the insights to do the strategies that he's done, book in below, raise your hand for help as a sign of strength, not weakness. Be the champion CEO you're meant to be and get the help that you need. Like us, subscribe, and we'll see you on the flip side.